souls, welcome to my channel where hobby's gonna die. So today we are going to do a TV show movie wrap up for the month of March. This month felt like it went by pretty fast. Has it been that way for you? Anyways, let's go ahead and just jump into it. And the first thing we're going to, as always, talk about is the TV shows. We didn't really finish anything. We're not very good with binge watching TV shows. We watch like one episode once every now and then if we have time to watch it during dinner time. Usually it's a YouTube video because those are a lot shorter than one of the many TV shows that we're working on. So this month was an attempt to catch up on TV shows, one of those being The Witcher. We have been putting off finishing The Witcher for a while now. We still haven't finished. I think we have one episode left. And since it's a longer episode, we keep putting it off because we don't really have time to watch such a long episode. But we will get to it. I will say my thoughts about this season now, because I have a pretty general idea of what my thoughts are going to be. I didn't like it as much as the first season. The first season felt very Witcher to me, and the second season felt very Game of Thrones to me, which The Witcher is not Game of Thrones. So I don't know what they were doing with The Witcher this season, but I just did not like it. If I wanted to watch Game of Thrones, I would watch Game of Thrones, which I did not like the last season of Game of Thrones, so I don't want to rewatch that. I wanted more monster fights. That's what The Witcher is about. Not all of this politics, mages doing crazy things type of situation. I mean, it was mildly fascinating, but after a while it just got boring and old and just not worth watching. But we are going to finish it. We're going to finally finish the last episode soon. I don't know when, but soon-ish. So there's that. And then the other thing that we're finishing is Helluva Boss, which I have mentioned in the previous TV show movie wrap-up for February. We wrapped up the last of the first season of Has Been Hotel, and I had mentioned that we didn't finish the episodes for Helluva Boss, so I brought that up, and now we are finishing that. I think we have 3 episodes left? Or 2? I can't remember, but we're getting there with that one. That one's shorter, so it's a lot easier for us to watch during dinner. I just really like the animation of Helluva Boss and Has Been Hotel. Really like the satire of it and everything. I'm really invested in the characters, so I don't mind the drama. There are drama moments. I did mention in the last video that Helluva Boss didn't have as much singing in it as Has Been Hotel. It seems like they upped that. These past few episodes definitely had a little bit more singing to it, which I really love. I like musicals, so of course I'm going to be reading for that. I do believe I mentioned that for Flaniverse, our watch party, we were watching Bly Manor. We finished Bly Manor. I think I wasn't finished last video. I think we had like 2 or 3 episodes left to finish of that before I rated it. I did talk about it in the last video, so I'll continue to talk about it here. I don't like it as much as Haunting of Hill House. I don't remember your name, I'm sorry, but someone mentioned in my comments before that it was definitely more relationship focused than it was spooky. And I agree, definitely that. There was an unfinished storyline in it too, with the uncle. If you've seen this before, isn't that an unfinished storyline? The stuff that they were doing with the uncle, it just like randomly vanished. It was like, okay, where did it go? There was a lot of storylines going on with this, so I guess they got all mixed up that they completely forgot about the uncle, or hoped that we would forget about the uncle storyline. But I mean, overall, I thought it was interesting. The ending was very impactful once it got all wrapped up and stuff. But again, I just did not like it as much as Haunting of Hill House. Now we are watching Midnight Mass for Flaniverse. This will be the last show that we watch until we have a little break for summer, and then we'll pick it back up after summer. We are on the last 2 episodes for that one. It's a whole ballpark difference compared to Bly Manor and Haunting of Hill House. I won't say anything more than that because I don't remember what's in the synopsis. I will say, for those who are very sensitive to animal deaths, there is a lot in Midnight Mass. One of it was a little bit easier to stomach because it happened off screen and very clearly fake bodies. But the one that really, I was angry, I was tearing up and everything else, there is a very horrifying pet death, and it was very uncomfortable to watch. There's a lot of characters that hate in this, but I don't hate them to the point where I'm just going to be like, oh, this is a terrible thing. I just hate them because they are terrible people. The show itself is great, and I am enjoying it far better than Bly Manor. We'll see if I like it more than Haunting of Hill House. It's kind of hard to decide if I'm going to like it more than Haunting of Hill House because they're two different kind of horrors. They have a different kind of vibe, so it's hard to rank them. But definitely better than Bly Manor. Even though, again, they are different vibes, I just like this story a little bit better than Bly Manor. But yeah, we'll see how that ends. And I think that's all of the TV shows I need to talk about. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I need to keep track of my TV shows a little bit better than I do. But let's go ahead and jump on into the movies. I have 6 movies to go through this time. Usually it's 4, but 1, we went to the movie theaters, and 2, there was an extra Friday this month in order for us to watch another movie. And since this is Mary Shelley March, a lot of the movies kind of lean towards the Frankenstein story. So the first movie that we're going to talk about is Frankenstein. 5 stars. Enjoyed it. It is very, very, very different from the book. I watched the movie before I finished the book. I finished the book and now I'm just like, wow, how Hollywood really took off with their interpretation of this book significantly. But I don't fault it for that. I understand that the book may be a little bit difficult to film, and there's nothing wrong with taking a story and retelling it, or taking the likeness of a story and being inspired. I'm never going to judge a book and a movie and say the book is going to be better than the movie or the movie is better than the book. I'm never going to have that opinion. I'm just going to say the movie is great for what it is, the book is great for what it is. Read and watch them for different entertainment values. Reading is a whole different entertainment value than watching a movie is. So, like I said, 5 stars. Really enjoyed it for what it is. It's a shorter film considering it's an older film. 1931 is the version that we watched. Really, really love the painted backgrounds and the set designs. I really like classic movies for that. There's so much to look at in the background. I mean, sure, you should be focusing on the foreground and the actors and stuff, but there's just so much to look at. You can pause the movie and just study the set design and just see all the details they put in it and everything else. It's just amazing to see all of that. You don't see that a whole lot in like modern films. It's always CGI and focusing on the big action and explosions and stuff, and not all the, you know, little tiny details in the background and the painted scenes and all that. So really loved that, really appreciated that. The acting is, you know, your typical good classical acting. Just the whole movie was a joy to watch. I know there's multiple other movies that I'm very curious to watch at some point. That's my first Universal monster movie, by the way, so I definitely want to watch the rest of them along with the rest of the Frankensteins. Especially after I finished the book, I really want to explore the other ones and see where they interpret things or what they took from the book. The next movie that we watched is Neon Maniacs. So Neon Maniacs was one that my brother-in-law picked. I didn't realize until he said so, but this was a movie that was considered unfinished. They had a lot of problems when they were producing it. Actors had to bail out. They had other things to do. So the monsters in the movie, you can see change. So that was something that was really weird to see. I gave it 2 stars, by the way. So the ending fell flat because they had intended a different ending, but they didn't have what they needed to do it. There was supposed to be like a big epic battle and an explanation as to where the mutants even came from and all that, and we didn't get any of that. I liked the design of the monsters. They were goofy. This was definitely a goofy movie. This wasn't serious at all. I don't think they intended it to be serious. Hopefully they didn't. I read a review on Letterboxd saying that the mutants looked like the YMCA characters from the music video, and they did. A lot of them did look like the YMCA characters. I can't unsee that now, so it makes it even more goofier. There was some cool creature effect in the movie, but like overall, I wish they finished it. I feel like it would be a pretty kitschy, interesting movie, but as it is right now, I don't think it was worth the watch unless you want to watch an unfinished film just to see what it looks like. The next movie we watched was Poor Things. This was one that my husband picked. It is a adaptation of the book by the same name. I can't remember the author's name. I'll put up the author's name up here. But it is basically a retelling of Frankenstein, only the creature is a woman. It also has H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau? I can't remember how to say his name. It definitely has aspects of that. So a nod towards both, which I think The Island of Dr. Moreau is also kind of similar to Frankenstein with the whole animals and mad scientists. So I gave this 5 stars. I really, really loved it. It is surreal and artistic, which I love. I love movies that are like that are very surreal feeling and have an artistic nod, the way it's filmed and cinematography. It bounced back and forth between black and white and color. If you've ever seen The Witch or any of Edgar's movies, that's what it felt like to me. I don't know if it's because of the black and white aspects of it or just the way it filmed. I know it's directed by someone else. I can't remember the name of the director. I'll put them up here. I know it's not Edgar's, but it did feel like that, and I really love Edgar's films. So, of course, I'm going to love Poor Things because it felt like that to me. I kind of want to read the book now. I mean, I haven't even read The Island of Dr. Moreau either. So I'll just add that to my list of ones to read. The acting was wonderful. The costume design was wonderful. Just the entire thing was just right up my alley as far as movies or atmospheres are concerned. I would love to read more books or watch more films kind of similar to this whole idea. The next movie that we watched was Lisa Frankenstein. I chose Lisa Frankenstein. I had to watch it. Come on. So I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was cute for what it was. It felt very Edward Scissorhands to me, that kind of aspect of monster helping girl, kind of a gothic horror romance in a way. I loved everything about it, but there was something off about the way it was filmed. And I don't know if I'm the only one who felt that, or if I was just having an off day where I just could not focus on the movie. But it felt very uncanny valley. There was a lot of great scenes in it, but there was scenes in it that felt very off, and I don't know if it's because the music choices for those scenes or the sound effects are off or just the way it was timed was off. So that's the reason why I gave it 4 stars. I probably would have given it 4.5 stars or maybe even 5 stars because it didn't have that weirdness to it. The next movie that I'm going to talk about is we went to the movie theaters and watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. It's a cute popcorn film. I would say it's worth a watch, especially if you're into Ghostbusters. I know it's not the originals. There is nostalgic nods, moments that you're just like, oh yeah, I remember that. I'm not going to say absolutely hated it. I'm not going to say absolutely loved it. It's something cute to watch at least once. There were too many characters. It just like introduced more and more characters and you're just like, okay, who is this and why should I care? It felt like the story was wandering too much. My husband pointed this out and I was just sitting there like, yeah, you're right, it did wander quite a bit before it got to the point. So there are those faults to it. So there's the reason why I'd give it 3.5 stars instead of 4. Again, I would recommend if you're a Ghostbusters fan, if you're excited about watching it, then watch it. Get yourself a bucket of popcorn and watch the movie, or just wait for it to go on streaming services and watch it at home and make your own popcorn. That's probably a lot cheaper than movie popcorn. And then the same day, because it was Friday and we watched movies Friday nights, is we watched the last Voyage of Demeter. I gave this 4.5 stars. Absolutely loved it. It was another gothic horror. I love gothic horror type of movies, or anything. I like gothic horror. I have not read Dracula yet. That is the next of the classics I will be reading. This movie is based off of one chapter in Dracula, and it's The Captain's Log. I love the way that they portrayed Dracula in this. Definitely more focused on the monster aspect of vampires, which I love. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the dark romance and the nice looking vampires and all that, but you know, vampires are monsters. I'm gonna have a soft spot for more monster like vampires that was in this film. So it's spooky and atmospheric, like gothic horrors are supposed to be like, but it's not scary. I know gothic horror can be scary, but this one is not. I didn't give it 5 stars because, I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like, I'm not going to sit there and rave about it, so I don't think it's worth that extra 0.5 stars. I mean, it was great, and I would recommend it for people who want to watch the movie, who is into vampires and Dracula and those kind of films. I did notice on Letterboxd that a lot of people did not like this movie, and I cannot figure out why. So if you are someone who's seen this movie and you didn't like it, please tell me why. Is it because it's not scary? Were you expecting it to be like jump out of your seat scary? Is that the reason why? I just cannot figure out why people didn't like the film as much. So please tell me down below. I mean, obviously I'm not going to judge you. Everyone's going to like or hate a movie. The same thing with books. Someone's going to like or hate books. That is all the movies. That is all the TV shows. That was a crazy month for movies. And next week, I am going to do my reading wrap up for March. So be looking forward for that. So until then, like, comment, subscribe. Bye, souls.